Welcome to Achieve Financial Freedom. I'm your host, Rhonda Payne. Here we sit down with entrepreneurs who share their journey, strategies, and insights to help you build wealth and create the life you deserve. If you enjoy conversations that motivate and educate, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss a future interview.
Think we here. Okay. Thank you guys for joining me today at Achieve Financial Freedom. Right now, we have this lovely couple. I am so excited. I am so
Yes.
excited to. And can I call you V? Where are we going, V?
Yes,
I know I
absolutely.
have her government name, but what we have here is V and Tim, husband and wife, power couple, owners of Epic Legacy. I'm so thankful to have you guys today.
We appreciate you, extending the invitation to talk to your community. Definitely.
Yes,
We're
Rhonda.
excited.
We
All right.
appreciate you.
If you know this forum, this script, what I like to do is bring on entrepreneurs here to inspire and uplift. This is a great couple I've already mentioned. I've known them for quite a while, so I'm just happy to have them in this ecosystem. So let me just jump in and ask you two, what inspired you to start your business?
Huh,
Right.
that is a loaded question because there was several events.
Yeah.
I knew for me, I'll start off
Go
with
ahead,
me.
man. Leave it.
I know for me that I was always going to be an entrepreneur. I always wanted to do my own thing. I never wanted to be on anybody's clock. It was just that was just going to be me. That was my thought. Us getting into it together, I think that was God. That was
Okay.
God,
On
because
my
Tim was
side.
a corporate man.
Yeah, on my side, I grew up, like a lot of people
Mhm.
go to school, get good grades, go to college, get you your dream job, and you live the American life. And so for
Yeah.
me, I'm like, okay, I went to school, got the grades, got the degree, got the job with nice titles, but at the end of the month, I still got more bills and I got checked. And it's like, this is not working for me. And
Mhm.
then what really pushed me into entrepreneurship is I was working for a company and I'm killing it. I'm building a business. I'm really hitting all type of awards and
Working like 70
recognition.
hours
And then they let me
a
go.
week.
Let me go on my daughter's birthday, Rhonda. On my daughter's birthday.
Oh,
I'm like, bro,
see?
y'all, you really? I'm supposed to go, huh? How I'm supposed to be smiling and singing my baby happy birthday, but I ain't let it affect me, though. But
Shit, just got her hair done,
telling you,
ponytail
you know what I'm
swinging.
saying? I'm like, shoot, we may have to go on a budget. We better take that
Life was
ponytail back.
life, right? Like life happened quick. Like it turned like
Quick,
y'all
quick.
going out to celebrate a birthday and then you got, you something came down that was unexpected. I think that's one of the things when you're talking about financial freedom and all those things, and I know you guys will probably talk about it, is getting into having a second source of income because you cannot plan for the unexpected. Like you think you're good, and you like you said, Tim, you're killing it. You're working 70 hours. You're probably rising up through the ranks. All of those things would say that you're committed to the job and that they see you as their future and they're going to invest in you. But what we probably find out is that when it doesn't align to their objectives and their goals,
They'll
you're
cut you.
dispendable.
You just real expendable. You know what I'm
They'll
saying? They ain't
cut
even
you
kept.
real
And
quick.
then the crazy part is, I guess they thought I was gonna act crazy, Rhonda. They had a whole bunch of security and stuff when they walked me in. I'm like, oh, all these people with these guns in here. What's going on? You know what I'm saying?
It was
Like,
too much.
yeah,
I was like, they didn't have to.
it was crazy.
They didn't have
But
to do all that.
that launched me in the mindset of, okay, I cannot put all my eggs in one basket.
Hmm.
Now I tell people I didn't just then at that point go straight into entrepreneurship. I call it stealing away, right? So I got me another full-time job because of course we still got bills to pay, but I
Right.
started something on the side, like you were saying, extra income, secondary income. And then we just basically work that business on the side to build it for us to be able to go full-time in our business and say peace to corporate.
Yes.
So that's beautiful. So Tim, you had something that kind of from a corporate side you were unexpecting, and then B, you already had the mindset and entrepreneur spirit that somehow, some way, I'm leaving corporate. I don't know when, but we gonna play this game until it don't work no
I'm
more.
telling you, and I didn't care if it took me 10 years. I didn't care if it took me 20. I didn't care if it took me 30. I know I'm not finna spend my life without time freedom.
Mm.
It was a non-negotiable for me. Always since I was like 18.
So let's talk about that. So when you guys actually are coming together as a couple, as a unit, to say we have a goal, and that is to have our freedom to be able to detect like what we want to do, how we want to show up in the world. What is your business founded on, and what were you trying to solve as an entrepreneur? That now we're here at Epic Legacy.
That's a great question, Rhonda.
Very good question.
I tell people, you don't have to have like, all right, I know exactly what I want to do. I know exactly where I'm going. This is how I'm going to figure it out, right? And this is going to be my business. So, for example, a lot of people don't even know, but Epic Legacy is now a financial company. But when I first came up with the idea, it was supposed to be a party bus company.
We found the picture. Tim drew a party bus. It had spinners. Like,
oh yeah,
it was lit.
It was about to be an Epic Legacy party on that bus.
It was lit. We gotta find that picture.
Yes, please do.
But again, like I went into entrepreneurship. I got plenty of certifications. I went and got my Bell's Bond license. Again, I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I just had to find. I got my Bell's Bond license, and I'm like, okay, I can't be kicking in trailers, pulling out meth heads. I got kids. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, well, let me go. I can't do this. Then I got my real estate license. I'm like, okay, this cool, but they lost me. And I was like, well, your first 2 or 3 years during this full time, you're only gonna make $25,000 a year. And I'm like, well, they ain't enough to pay my car payment. So okay, we gotta move to the next thing. And so that's how we just kept moving and molding. And the big thing I tell couples is communication. Hey, I don't know if this is gonna work for us. I'm willing to give it a shot, but we also gotta have a point where, all right, we done gave it all up until this point. It's not really working the way we really want to work.
Let's see if we can pivot.
Let's see if we need to pivot. And I say it's a perm like, oh, we pivoting off the gate. No, like, do we need to pivot? That's what started the conversation.
Facts.
So, I mean, Jim, so not only are you kind of figuring out second source of income, but don't be afraid to pivot and change. So it sounds like although you started one way, that's not where you ended. And that's okay. Like,
yes.
Hopefully we still get that party bus one day.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna get a party.
That's not a bad idea.
But it's again perspective that vision that Tim created, that was 2015 when we had our first kid. And then we didn't grow into finance until 2018. So we tried multiple different things, and I was in health and wellness before. So we were just like, whatever, we're just gonna go for it and see what works for us and where we can make an impact in and create the life that we want.
And if I could veggie back real quick on that, I say you can't be afraid of failure. Like, I think people like, oh, I don't want to try something and it don't work out for me. You don't know if it's gonna work for you unless you give it a good Harvard try, right? Like,
not a Harvard try.
Like, give it your all. Like, go in there and just see if this is for you.
Right.
If you don't attempt it, right? I don't even like using the word try. If you don't attempt it, you will never find out in reality if you could have been successful at that. So don't let, the fear of, I don't want to start something and I don't finish, or this and the third, hold you back from attempting multiple things to find out what's your niche and what's your passion.
Because something gonna work.
Some go shake.
Something will work.
You keep shaking the tree, something go fall.
Something will work for you. Yes.
Keep trying. So when you were in this phase of discovery, how did you guys know that the financial space was your niche? Like, you're like, yeah, was it a good momentum? Was it connections or your passion for it? Like, speak more about how did y'all know?
When we actually got serious about the business and saved $15,000 in 4 months.
Yes.
And that was real. We was like, our eyes went.
Like, oh, it's not. You can make some money. Because I mean,
this works.
No, I mean, for like most people, you get so conditioned to get a check. And so, like, even though jobs show you over and over and over again that they don't care about you, they don't care about your family, don't care about your livelihood, you're dispendable, like we mentioned.
And that's what they're supposed to do.
We still fiend for that check. You know what I'm saying? We looking out there like, hey, man, when that Friday coming? And
then the check don't be enough to cover what you needed to cover.
Right. And and I got to go get another check, right? So what happens is that we really just got to let that go.
Yeah.
And find a way. So I bring on, let's say, let me rewind back, right? So why did we not believe off gate? Like, okay, this is for us, this and the third, because again, we still making good money. I mean, we making over $100,000 collectively when we was working our corporate jobs. And
Right.
so for a lot of people, I mean, again, that's not a lot of money, but for a lot of people, that's good. You know what I'm saying? Like that's great. I can make this work. And so you start to get complacent
Yeah.
in what you're doing and where you're at. So that's why we was playing around, right? With working our own business and stuff like that. And when we actually seen the money that could be made, it was just like, yeah, it's a no-brainer.
Definitely. And then I don't think we really understood the impact really until we started building an agency. And also to expanding our clientele and people being like, I never learned the rule of 72. Like we had a lady in our office, Tim was helping her set her investments up. Single mom of 2, full-time entrepreneur, setting up her investments crying because no one ever thought enough of her to say, "Hey, if you put your money here, your kids will never have to need anything ever again. If you make these small steps here, it's gonna be a big reward for you and your legacy in the end." And like when we started seeing things like that, we were getting feedback like that. We were like, okay, we're needed here. We can do this together. It's bringing extra income part time on top of our salaries at the time before we both went full time. Let's plant our flag here.
Yeah. And the last thing I'll even add to that is mentorship is everything too.
Yeah.
Find your industry, find your niche, and look for mentorship. Seek mentorship in that industry because, again, putting yourself in the right atmosphere, the fact that we had a mentor and they actually put us in the right atmosphere to go to like events and, what I'm saying, go to, networking events and, builder events and things of that nature. So when we actually got a chance to see like, okay, we're not the only people that are making money, and there's plenty of people that's making money. And I don't know about you, Rhonda, we competitors. So
Yeah.
you don't look better than me, you're not smarter than me. Like, it's no way that you can make all this money and I can't. Like, it's not gonna happen. So that's what pushed us forward too, to really make it happen.
Thanks.
Thank you for saying that because sometimes when you think about entrepreneurship and oh, we're in the same space, so we're competitors, we shouldn't think like that.
Right.
We need to build iron sharpens iron. Okay,
Yes.
you're in the financial space, I'm in the financial space. How can we help each other? What are some things? Do we have some synergies where your clients can, maybe feed off of some of the things that I have and vice versa? And I think that we need to speak more to getting in the room with each other, networking, sharing resources, and not looking at it as if we're competing for the same talent or the same client.
Right.
That is where you grow. That is where it's strength in numbers. So thank you for speaking to that because as I begin my journey, I realized that just even getting in the room is the first step. Like you may not know what you need, but by sitting down and talking to you guys have been in the game for a couple of years. You're like, oh well, Rhonda, maybe you should try this. But I wouldn't know unless I'm getting that one-on-one time with you. So I just want to just emphasize, you may not know everything, but somebody in that room knows something. Like just
Okay.
Look, you can leave that with something.
Right.
You can
What
leave it with
Denzel say.
something.
You can leave that
I'm
with
leaving
something.
here with something.
So then you talked about helping your client, but take us back to when you landed your first paid client. How did you get that client? How did you keep that client? Like, let's talk because I think what we all probably have experienced as entrepreneurs is you are free. You're giving out services for free. You helping family, you're helping friends, but you're like, at some point we have to monetize. How can you make that shift from free to monetize? So take us back to your first customer.
My first customer in this business. That's a great question, Rhonda. I don't even remember.
Fair enough.
But what I will say is who was our first client?
So I remember
Because we started in Durham.
Right. So basically what happened is I was I had a full-time job, I was working a part-time job, and I had a part-time business, right? Again,
When you was working at Ross?
you gotta make it shake, right? Yeah, I was
Okay.
working at Ross, right? You gotta tell everybody why I was working.
Oh,
I was in the clothing industry.
sorry, in the clothing. That sounds so funny. I was in the clothing
Look,
industry.
I was in the clothing industry anyway.
I am
Discount.
done.
But nah, so I went out and I just started talking to people like, hey, this is what I'm doing, this is how I can help people, this and the third. And so one of the women that I work with, she was like, yo, this is great information. I want to introduce you to my family. So she actually brought all her family together and brought me in to speak to her whole family. Now, mind you, I'm brand booty butt naked into the business, right? I don't know every exact thing I'm supposed to be saying, but I know I'm gonna get something out the door here. I mean, if it's this many people, I can make something work. And so I end up helping the whole family with life insurance, and that was really our first sale.
Because in the beginning, okay, we kind of went on this. We were in finance. I grew up in poverty. I am all the way out of my comfort zone. Even when Tim brought the business opportunity, me being entrepreneurial spirited or entrepreneur spirit, however we want to say it, I was all the way out of my comfort zone with this business. I had no financial background. I hadn't accomplished much financially. Like I had paid off, like I would have a book. The book is actually right over there. I had a book and I would write out like what my debts were and I would pay them off like credit cards and things of that nature. But I didn't feel qualified for this type of business in the beginning. So it was, and Tim, it took him some time. It wasn't automatic for me to transfer over from health and wellness to finance because I had got burnt out from that because it wasn't working the way that I thought entrepreneurship should work. Right. So I want to give that perspective as he is sharing about our first client where I was in the beginning. I didn't have that belief yet. Even though I was the entrepreneur always in our relationship, my mind, the devil kind of had my mind warped. And I'm like 6, 7 months pregnant at this time. So it was a very warped mind when we were in the beginning with our first clients. So I want to kind of give that background to let y'all know we didn't just roll in here on a carriage, you know what I'm saying? Right. That's where I was at that time. So you can tell more about the first client, but I feel like that was important to share.
Thank
And
you
for
for
me,
sharing that because
okay.
I think with our society, you see the polished person.
Mm-hmm.
You see all of the followers, you see them speaking on stages, you see them in podcasts, you see all those things, but I think sometimes there's a disconnect between the humble beginnings and our people speaking and no, I don't think no one's ashamed of their truth, but it's like, where did you start? So thank
Right.
you for being vulnerable and saying that it was somewhat of an imposter syndrome. Like you have all of the education, all the experience, but to show up in a different light, you paused.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I feel like we all have that where we like, if you on paper, like we have it all and we shouldn't be afraid, but it's something in the mind or saying like, well, wait, you don't have this. But if you continue to say you don't have this, you never gonna get anywhere. So
Exactly.
I think it's beautiful that you two had each other. Like, let's
Yes.
just say that where and in speaking to a powerful couple is like where one is weak, one is stronger. And
Mm-hmm.
playing off of that. And for those who may not have a partner per se, a husband or spouse, find that person who can hold
Mm-hmm.
you accountable, who can lift you up. Get with someone who shares your vision. Because
Mhm.
sometimes when you're by yourself, you're going to be feel in isolation and your mind can set you back. So thank
Yes.
you for speaking to sometimes you're ready, everything is ready, but your mind is holding you back, so don't let that stop you. So we've kind of talked about like what inspired you, how you got your first customer. Now you guys have been in business for a couple of years. How are you growing your business? Like let's
Mm.
talk about that. We got revenue and all those things, but what do you feel like has been a catalyst to make sure that you're sustaining and growing?
Great question.
That was a great question. I would definitely say systems,
You were in my mind.
systems, marketing, right? And consistency.
Yeah.
Like, those are your 3 points. You need a system. Like, all right, how am I processing my clients, whatever industry you're in? How am I processing my clients? How am I, making sure I'm getting things done? What is my system that I'm moving? And marketing, you got to get your information out there to let people know what you're doing. I tell people you can't be a secret agent, right? Meaning like, oh, so people will knock down my door and say, hey, Rhonda, I want your product. Like, it don't happen that way.
They are not coming to you.
The key to running a business is you got to market.
Yes.
I mean, the company that I can say, and I mean, again, I don't approve of their food, right? But however, when you talk about system, marketing, and consistency, McDonald's. McDonald's got one of the best systems in fast food, right? They do great in marketing. They got marketing everywhere. Everybody see them M's, they know, okay, that's McDonald's. Right?
Yes.
You maybe can't say McDonald's the correct way. It's McDonald's. People, I know everybody say McDonald's. I'm going to McDonald's, right?
Like, where the A come from? Y'all making
We will make up a word like what?
Okay, that part you're like,
And
okay.
consistency, like they consistently market, consistently move, consistently grow. And so you gotta stay consistent in your business. You gotta work it just like it was a job. How you show up to your job every day, 365, without fail, on holidays, on your birthday, your mama birthday, Jesus' birthday, it don't matter, right?
Yes,
You
yes.
showing up. You sick, but you can't do that for yourself. You can't do that for your own business. So you have to stay consistent, and that what tie everything together to make sure that you can scale up your business and get to that next level.
I want to even take it a step further. Being that we've been in business now, like around 7 or 8 years together. Consistency is a muscle. I want to be clear. It's not going to be something you wake up and like, it's like I'm consistent. No, it is a muscle. You're going to try a little bit and then you're going to scale back. And then you're going to try a little bit more and then you're going to scale back. And eventually, from you keep moving forward in executing, I know we don't use the word try, but you trying a little bit at a time, you're going to wake up one day and be like, okay, I'm not getting the results that I want. And then because you've been exercising that muscle, now you're going to kick yourself into gear of like, okay, what are things that I can do daily that don't result in burnout, but I can get my message, my business, my marketing out there daily, where I can be working a little bit in my systems daily to make sure they're running effectively. That you're going to get to that point, but you're not going to just wake up and just be like, oh, I'm consistent. No, you're going to backslide a lot in that process.
Definitely.
But when you wake up and you realize that your bank account doesn't look like how you wanted to, you haven't helped enough people, as many people as you said that you were going to, or people are moving along faster, not saying you should compare, but like, okay, if they can do it, I can do it. So you're gonna start to, those things are gonna reveal itself to you, and then you're gonna start to, okay, you're gonna nail down, if I do these things over a specific period of time, it will yield me these results. It's a muscle. Consistency is a muscle. It's not something that you just wake up and you just have.
Like I'm gonna bring us back full. I always like to kind of, as we talk, kind of walk through what we talked about so far because it's so many nuggets in that. So we've kind of walked through your journey of what it took to become an entrepreneur, whether it was always the drive and motivation, or for Tim, for you, is unexpectedly losing your job, to defining what it is, and it's okay to pivot. And it's okay to know that you're not going to get it the first time, but get in the rooms with people who can help you and get those mentors. And then also understanding that with your strategies, have systems in place and be consistent. Is that fair? Like, did I do a good wrap up of like where we kind of talked about? Because once you have all of those connection points, I think you are on a good foundation or a path to continue to go. So one of the things I always want the viewers to understand is like, once you have those pieces, there are also resources. So like, what resources helped you guys as entrepreneurs? Was it a networking in the community? Was it a book? Was it a podcast? Like, is anything that you went to per se that you leaned on to help you when there were blind spots or things you may not have known about as an entrepreneur?
That's a great question. That's where that mentorship comes in.
Okay.
Like mentorship is big. So
Yeah.
I just give you mentorship, putting yourself in the right environment. So we put ourselves in a lot of like, building schools, learning the information, going to events, like I said, the networking, things of that nature, and of course reading. Like, yo,
BIBLE.
read, bro. Read. Again, it's so many books that people have laid out business plans or laid out, what I'm saying, the foundation to how they grew and how they built their business and proving people that have built their business. I mean, of course, people gonna hit you with the Think and Grow Rich and, all these different things, Outwitting the Devil. What's some other ones?
By Napoleon Hill.
By Napoleon Hill. 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership was a good one for me.
John Maxwell.
Yep, that taught me more how to deal with people.
Mhm.
But reading, networking events, right, and mentorship is going to keep you grounded in your foundation so that you can grow.
Yeah. And I would definitely say building a relationship with God.
Yes.
I don't want to sound like a typical, Bible thumper, but that has catapulted us. Like, let me be very clear. We've read a lot of books, most of them audio, you know what I'm saying? Because we're on the go, we got kids, but we're always feeding our mind. But feeding our mind, since we have started feeding our mind with God's word, it's crazy because a lot of these books are talking about what's in the Bible.
Yes.
The principles.
The principles, you know what I'm saying? How you're going to go through things, but you have joy. Know that God has already overcome the world. Anything that we are going through is already in our victory. Like we can walk in authority. You know what I'm saying? We can not be that secret agent because we have authority in God that He created us to do what the purpose that we're living out. Like it just gives you a another level of boldness, and then the other books and things of that nature build on that. But when you got God backing you, that has catapulted us, and I feel like we have been making that transformation in our last 12 months of being in business, 7 or 8 years.
Yes.
Of more so transition and focusing on Him.
Mm-hmm.
And then the systems, the consistency, because now you understand why are you being consistent. You're not just shooting darts down the hallway. You know what I'm saying? You're doing this for a reason and for a purpose. So yeah, like that's been a shift.
Pass the collection plate.
Yeah,
Yes.
that right there has been a shift that
could be a whole nother segment.
yeah,
I was like, we might have you guys come back because power and faith and entrepreneurship is a whole thing. Because I can just tell you when I planted a seed for my business and I talked to my husband and said, this is on my heart. I feel like in order for God to bless me and to grow, I've got to say, God, I don't have it, but this is yours. And please, and I know He's going to take that because I gave it when I didn't have and say, God, just grow it, grow my business, help me. So I can't wait to kind of come back and kind of talk about what that seed is and what it looked like for me in 2026. So I'm gonna pencil that because I do want to come back to faith and entrepreneurship and all of those things because there is a higher power that's pushing us through and that will see us to victory. Before we leave, can you please give some advice to anyone who's thinking about entrepreneurship but is scared to take the leap? Can you give some words of wisdom?
yeah, fear is gonna be fake, y'all. So just try to hear me when you're watching this, right? Fear is not yours. It is not a part of you. You don't have to choose it. And you're going to experience fear regardless, whether you believe or whether you don't. You're going you it like to today we still feel fear. We still say, "Oh no, I don't know." You know what I'm saying? Like, you still kind of have those moments and those thoughts, but know that you'll stay in that space if you don't move.
Oh.
And you're not living the life that you really want to live. I feel like entrepreneurship is a calling. So if you're being called into it, but you're afraid, that means that your purpose is big. Something's trying to hold you back from obtaining or executing this business that God gave you. So yeah, know that the fear is not yours. You're gonna feel the fear regardless, whether you move or whether you don't. So you got to make a decision.
Right. Last I'll say on that is fear is false evidence appearing real.
That part.
Right. The thing I tell people, what do you have to lose? Worst
That's
thing,
good.
worst case scenario is you just end up on your job for the rest of your life, right? That's worst case
That
scenario.
sounds scary. I don't want that.
That's worst case scenario. So what do you got to lose? Like, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? That's the worst thing that can happen, guys. Or you may end up on somebody else's job for the rest of your life. That's the worst thing that can happen.
That's it.
Yo, give it a shot.
You ain't gonna
Live
slip
your
and
life.
fall and break your pinky toe. Like, it's not gonna hurt if you start. Like,
but you're gonna get punched in the face.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurship, you're gonna get punched. Everybody got a plan until you get punched in the face. Mike Tyson, right?
Right.
But it's okay. You don't got punched in the face before. If you haven't, go to a boxing lesson and get punched in the face. You see, it's not that bad.
You can get back up.
It's not that bad. You know what I'm saying? You win some, you lose some, but you live.
Fight another day. But yeah, that's our insight.
You live to fight another day, and you learn something. You need to duck next time. Like you go.
Bobby Weave.
Bobby Weave. Listen, thank you two so much for being candid, bringing some laughter, being real about what it is in the entrepreneur space. Yes. But I would be remiss if I just didn't give an opportunity to the viewers to how can they stay in touch with you two?
Most definitely. Socials.
Yeah, so our Instagram is Epic Legacy Money Coaches. That's our Instagram. You can follow us there. We are also Tim and Vincinta Bentu on Facebook. So Tim Bentu on Facebook, Vincinta Bentu on Facebook. And then you can also reach out to our office at 919-649-6159 or 704-200-1483. Someone will be there to assist you.
And you can visit our website at yourepiclegacy.com/impact.
Yes.
And that breaks down all our services, how to get in contact with us, and all those things.
And our mission.
Yep.
Our mission is on there.
You guys have been wonderful. Thank you so much for joining. Until next time, take care.
Thank you, Rhonda.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning into Achieve Financial Freedom. Remember, financial freedom doesn't happen by accident. It happens with intention. Until next time, keep taking steps towards the life you deserve.